Energized show, up the Irish.
Okay, what's going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of Energized, the Face Off. Ross, introduce the guest, man.
Today we have a big one, Basmo. We have the Cage Warriors welterweight title fight between Belfast's own Rhys McKee and the main man from Sunderland, Justin Burlinson. Lads, how you doing?
Yeah, good fellas, good to have you on.
Man,
I love your shades. I need to set them shades after.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. We'll get ones for the parias. I suppose we'll get straight into it. Rhys, how does it feel to finally get in there and fight for that Cage Warriors welterweight belt?
Yeah, it's good. Obviously I was meant to fight Adam Proctor at the time before everything happened with COVID and stuff. That was meant to be in Belfast. It was another big fight for Belfast. So to have it back on the road and have the title on the line again, it's special, and it's going to be a special night for sure.
Certainly.
And then, Justin, obviously, you went and fought in the Contender Series before the belt came, and I suppose the two of you actually had a shot in the UFC before the belt came, which is rare for Cage Warriors. How do you feel about getting the fight for this belt now? Do you feel like you leapfrogged it the last time out?
What was that again, sorry?
Do you feel like you leapfrogged the belt last time by going to the Contender Series, and now's your chance to actually win the Cage Warriors belt?
Yeah, a little bit. What my plans was before the Cage Warriors, before the Contender Series, is to win the belt, but obviously the opportunity came up, so I dove on it, and obviously it didn't go my way, but now I'm back here fighting for the belt. So
yeah,
and
just
what did you learn?
Missed, Ross. This one cannot be missed. Cage Warriors 140 in Belfast on the 25th of June. If you're looking to buy tickets, make sure you're going to Rhys's Instagram, selling tickets there. Going to Justin's Instagram to buy tickets there, and it will be live, obviously, on UFC Fight Pass.
Justin, I want to ask yourself, what did you learn from that UFC experience that you had?
it was definitely a lot to take from the fight. Like my fighting style. Obviously, I'm more of a pressure fighter, and not always every fight you can't be like that. You know what I mean? You've got to be a bit smarter, especially at the higher level. Probably my first time like at a high level like that. So it was a good learning experience to realize that you can't just go in there and just swing with anyone.
And then Rhys, what about yourself? What did you learn from your UFC experience?
Yeah, I learned a lot. It's probably learned a lot about myself more than level of fighting and stuff like that. I learned I was very game and very keen, and maybe sometimes a bit too keen and too game. When I fought Morano, I fought like an idiot. Again, just like the big night, like the big fight. But again, similar to Justin, you have to have a smarter approach when you're fighting at these high level fights. And I got punished for that, and here I am back in Cage Warriors. But you learn a lot, and it's about how we move forward, and not what we've done.
And then Rhys, obviously, after Justin's last win on Cage Warriors, he said he wants to fight yourself in Belfast. When you heard that announcement, like, how did that make you feel? And how did this fight come about then?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I know who Justin is, and he's put a lot of good wins together. And when we started talking about opponents for Cage Warriors, it was before Justin and Daniel fought. And I kind of had a feeling it'd be whoever came out of that fight on top. So I watched the fight, and then obviously I woke up and seen tagged on Twitter that Justin called me out and stuff. So he was keen, and I texted Ian Dean and said, there we have it, it's done now. So it made a lot of sense. And Justin obviously has the tie with the UFC in the Contender Series. So for me, I'm not into fighting guys that will just reap off my name. I need an opponent where I will reap off their name as well. And, a win over Justin would absolutely do that. For me, it's a massive win where, compared to some of the other guys that are talking online and stuff, a win over them doesn't do as much.
Justin, you obviously won that fight, and it was an absolute war. We got onto you straight after, being like, what a win. Like, you did make that call out for Rhys McKee. So, like, you have no problem going into the Lions Den and causing an upset.
Yeah, definitely. This is the fight I wanted. You know what I mean? I feel like when I've got more adversity against us, I perform better, like in the fight. So that's why I called for this fight in Belfast, and now I've got it. So
we're absolutely buzzing for it, Ross, aren't we?
Yeah, I think one thing that we haven't even mentioned yet is both these guys' finishing rates is unbelievable. These guys come to close the show. I'll start with yourself, Justin. Is there any chance this fight goes the distance?
No, it's not likely. I don't see it go the distance.
And Rhys, what about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, going by how we fight and our styles and our finish rate, if you were the bookies, you'd be saying there's no chance, wouldn't you? So, it's nice that it's a 5-rounder and stuff like that, but I doubt we're going to need it, that's for sure.
And so the judges watching right now, they can take this fight off, Ross.
They can go catch a drink at the bar if they want. We'll be back soon.
And Rhys, how do you feel about that going 5 rounds?
Yeah, it was a big attraction. Like when I spoke to Ian and Graham on the phone and stuff, I'm sure people have heard about. I wasn't not that I wasn't as fussed on the title, but it wasn't a big draw for me. For me, the UFC is the draw. So the belt was just a byproduct. But that being said, the 5-5s, like training for the 5-5s, is a nice little thing to get up for even more. So I like just knowing that there's a bit more work to do. Even though I always train kind of 4 or 5-5s, it's nice knowing that the option will be there. So. It gives you a nice kick, but again, I don't think we're going to need them.
And then Justin, obviously the last time this belt was fought for, a good friend of yours, Jack Brand, fought for it. Has he given you any advice to prepare for the 5-5s?
Not really. He's just chilling here, actually.
There he is.
There he is. Any tips, Jack?
Just being given his abuse.
Well, sometimes that's enough to get you up off your arse, isn't it?
That is
definitely, true. Definitely. Now, I obviously, I spoke to him after his fight, and got a few, like, obviously training with Jack. I've learned a lot, just in general, you know what I mean, in the gym and outside the gym. So he's been a good training partner to have.
You sort of have to say that when he's sitting there beside you, though, don't you?
Yeah.
Just looking at this fight as well, lads. Is this? Are you just solely focused on this, or are you like? Do you think a win over each other could get you another chance in the UFC again? Rhys, you can go ahead first, bud.
I'm not really looking past this fight too much. I do think this is the biggest fight that Cage Warriors can make at the moment in all divisions. I think this was the fight to make. I think it's the biggest fight in Europe in terms of welterweights as well. So I think a win here, like, absolutely cements our place back there. But I'm not looking at anything after this fight. This is a massive fight, a really, really big fight. And 25th of June is all that's on my mind really right now.
Justin, what about yourself, bud?
Yeah, but the same. I'm just sort of just living in the moment, just enjoying the process of just training for the fight, the build-up of the fight. Obviously, Cage Warriors is promoting it well. It's all over Twitter, Instagram, you know what I mean? So I'm just enjoying the process of being main event for the belt.
Exactly. Yeah, Baz, you have to sort of believe, like, it feels like this Belfast card has a bit of special hype behind it. UFC London's only around the corner afterwards, and on top of that, like, if the belt that Cage Warriors isn't the golden ticket, defending it once seems to be. So, these guys are not too far away, in my opinion. What are your thoughts?
Ross, like the second we saw this was announced, it was just like, oh, this is unbelievable. We were over for UFC London, as like Ross mentioned, and like we knew Cage Warriors was coming back. We had Graham Bowen on the show earlier on in the year, and then once this fight was announced, it was the perfect matchup for the perfect event in Belfast, and like that's why we will be there, and that's why people, if you want to get tickets, as I said, get onto Rhys's Instagram, get onto Justin's Instagram, and it will be live on UFC Fight Pass, and we are absolutely buzzing.
Rhys, what would it mean for you to not only fight for a world title, but to do it in front of your hometown?
Yeah, it means a lot. Like, it means a lot. I fought in this Odyssey or this arena before. I had a big night there before, and I know how special it is. I know how special it is for there's people that haven't seen me fight in Northern Ireland for 8 years. So to come back, and especially after I had the previous run on Cage Warriors and then the UFC and then back with Cage Warriors, so to be back now at this time in my career, it's a much bigger deal than I ever was before. So it means a lot, and it's one of them nights, despite what happens after this and going back to the UFC and all that good stuff. This will always be one of them nights that's special and held in high regard. So it means a lot to me, and that's going to be very evident in the next 8 weeks.
And then Rhys, how many Rhys McKee fans are you expecting on the night to be in attendance?
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be bananas. You know, I'm not sure the attendance, but I know my ticket link has been mental so far. So I don't know. Like, you know, I mean, I could throw a ballpark of 1,000 maybe on it, but you know, there's a lot of people that also say they're going to fight. So who knows if they'll actually be there? But the amount of people that told me they're going, there'll be a lot. But who knows? And again, I don't really care. You know, I've had the experience of fighting with no fans, and like, not that I don't care, but I'm there to fight anyway, so it'll be good, regardless of how many go.
Justin, what is it going to be like for you to enter into the Lions then in Belfast with the volatile crowd? Will that be something that could phase you on the night?
Nah, definitely not. I'm actually really excited for it. I can't wait. I feel like there's no pressure on me really. All the pressure is on Rhys. He's fighting at home in front of everyone. You know what I mean? So I'll probably only have a few people there flying over. So all the pressure.
I'm going to ask both lads because I'll be very interested to see which way this is going to go. Rhys, how do you envision the fight finishing on the night?
Yeah, it's gonna be. You know what? I've had a lot of thinking about this and how the fight's going to be. I think it's going to be similar to how Justin and Skiba's fight went. You know, I think there's going to be a lot of good chances here, and I think it's going to come down to who's going to be the more clinical. You know I'm clinical. I know I only need one chance, and I think once I get it, I'm going to take it. So, you know, I'm looking forward to just showing what I am and being back in the scene, and yeah, just putting on a domination here.
And what about yourself, Justin? How do you think it's going to go come fight night, come June 25th?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to be too much for him on the night. Just going to overwhelm him, and the pressure's just going to get to him on the night, and I think he's just going to crumble a little bit.
And then finally, Rhys, where will having a Cage Warriors belt rank in your career so far?
Yeah, right up there. You know, yeah, right up there. It's going to be special. It's going to be nice to have that moment with the Belfast crowd and stuff after, and it's going to be right up there with the highest of the highs of the nights. You know, and even again, like I said earlier in this, it's like even the nights that are still to come in my career, this will be up there in the top 1, top 2.
And then, Justin, what about yourself? How would it feel to win that belt? And are you going to rub it in Jack Grant's face?
Fucking hell. He's only there.
Oh my god.
It'll be a great night, you know what I mean? But for me the main goal is UFC, and the belt's just an added bonus on the way there, you know what I mean?
Lads,
we love Jack Grant, by the way. We love Jack Grant.
Justin's now using Jack Grant's phone as well.
Sure anymore.
Yeah, but that's why this fight cannot be missed. Cage Warriors 140 Belfast, 25th of June in the SSE Arena. You can get onto Rhys's Instagram to buy tickets. You get on Justin's Instagram to buy tickets, and you can watch it live on UFC Fight Pass. Lads, before we wrap up the show, is there anything you'd like to say to each other before the main event in Belfast? Rhys, Justin?
Just have a safe camp, mate, and I look forward to seeing you in there the 25th of June. It's going to be fireworks. This is the fight we both wanted. This is the fight everybody in Europe wants. So let's put it all on the line, and I'll see you in there. Stay safe.
Yeah, you too, mate.
Love it. Roscoe, take us away, bud.
Guys, for those of you watching at home, thanks a million. Make sure to get UFC Fight Pass so you do not miss this fight come June 25th in Belfast. If you can get there in person, all the better. We will be there. It's going to be an absolute epic event. Shout out to Venom Fight Gear for sending us out some fight kits. So, shout out to Monster Energy for keeping the guys energized. If you are watching this on YouTube, make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and as always, Stay energized.
Energized show, up the Irish. Been sussing you guys a couple of times. I've seen a couple of clips. I think you've done some interviews with Dylan Moran and that I saw. So keep going, keep up the good work, guys.